What was that episode about again?
I don't remember. Do you remember? What was it about?
Interspecies prostitution.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, okay.
What's
your favorite species?
Wait. I remember. Maybe we talk about memory.
Memory.
Memory. Yes. So, Mr. Doctor, you are a better expert than I am about this topic. So, can you please tell me what is memory? How
You need another one of those definitions? Yeah,
No, but
I'll make
I
one
would
up.
like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it's just the ability to store information
Yeah.
from past experiences, categorize it, and then retrieve it again whenever you need to. Or the failure of it.
Yeah. And I'm guessing that it is a very important part of our
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I would say that memory and our memories and our emotions are really the most important factors for our personalities.
Yeah, wherever we are right now,
Yeah.
we build that with the
We are
memories.
a combination of our memories, yeah, especially the emotional ones.
Exactly. Oh, emotional memory is really important, as we mentioned before. What are the types of memories we have? There are different types of memories, or is it like in a computer system that we have this storage and we just
It
store the info there?
It might be easy to say that we are like computers or computers are like us, but it's really not so.
Yeah.
And like we have already discussed, the memory isn't a recording. It's a biological process, and it is quite prone to failure and corruption of data. And it's also very easy to manipulate,
Yeah.
as we'll see later in the episode. But yeah, there are memories made up of different processes. We first encode sensory information. Actually, the sensory input is automatical, so we don't even we don't try to do that. It's
Automatic.
just there, yeah. And from then on, it goes to our short-term memory, our working memory, and then it gets consolidated in long-term memory if it's useful for us. Yeah. There's a lot of different memories, and there are, again, and I will never stop saying that, it's all based on neuroanatomy, and different types of memories are in different brain regions, although, again, it's not really the regions, but the pathways that go through these regions. We have already mentioned the amygdala for emotional memory, especially the negative experiences, negative emotional experiences. And again, the limbic system, a big part of it is also important for memory formation.
Yeah, I'm guessing that like a chronicle, remembering some certain emotions in a chronicle way is kind of what we call disorders in many situations. Like if your body remembers a certain trauma, it memorizes it. And if it is in a certain pattern, it's always using this memory to repeat that, and it becomes very difficult to move on to new experiences and so on. So,
and this is
emotions and memory plays, I believe.
It's interesting that you say that, because although we don't know enough about post-traumatic stress disorder, there is now data that shows that it is based on memory corruption. Like, yes, it is a trauma, but it has been learned to feel worse every time you remember it. So if that memory was better and clear at some point of PTSD, it would make things better, but that requires therapy.
I'm guessing like the same like in emotions topics we had this. Whenever you talk about your emotions, the intensity changes. I believe when it comes to also like PTSD, when you try to remember as it is what was the traumatic event, I guess it also helps to reduce the intensity of the somatic symptoms that you are having due to trauma. So
yeah, if it's remembered in a more realistic and a more not so emotionally nuanced way as it happens in PTSD. Yeah.
So reconstructing the memory is important, I believe, for our own health.
Yeah.
As you said, that memory can be decisive sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. There
What
are
is the reason for that?
because we are human
Yeah.
and we're not machines.
Not animals.
There are actually studies about memory in animals.
Like fishes, 3 seconds.
We're not that different. We're
Elephant.
just-
I'm not, definitely. Maybe even shorter than that sometimes. I forget literally sometimes while I'm doing something and I'm like, what the fuck I was doing that?
Yeah, this can be a problem of attention, and it can be a problem of working
memory,
memory
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
But somehow we built, now when I say this 3 seconds, look, as a fish, so if your whole memory is resetting in every 3 seconds, it would be very difficult to build up a character, I believe, or a personality. So continuous memory helps us to build our personality and character.
Yeah. And sadly, this is lost in some conditions, and it is very indicative how, like in dementias, where memory loss is the paramount phenomenon of that condition, you see the very essence of the character dissolve, and it's a kind of a sad process to witness. Especially if you compare it to other types of cognitive problems like vascular dementia. It can be heavy as well, but it usually doesn't involve that character dissolvement that the degenerative diseases do with time.
It would be a very boring question, but what would be the part of the brain that is mainly involved in memory?
Yeah.
Is there any part of the brain we should be specifically take care of for the memory wise, or how we can maybe there are some people who are more like, are they better in memorizing things? And
They are, yeah.
It
There are
depends on
people
what.
like that. It depends on a lot of factors, and it starts actually before you were even born.
Okay.
Yeah, we now know that prenatal stress actually will damage your memory for life. Because yes, stress greatly reduces your ability to memorize, to have good memory. That's through cortisol, especially chronic cortisol. But if your mother was in a chronic stress during pregnancy, this really puts you in a bad place for your memory quality over your whole life.
Does that mean that we can all blame our mothers?
Of course, you can always do that.
We
It's
wish.
easy.
It's easy.
But going back to where memory is, actually, yeah, all those processes, they have their equivalent centers in the brain. There's evolution.
Hippocampus would
Yeah,
be
the hippocampus
quite,
it's very important for memory consolidation, which means turning from short term to long term. We now know that it's not just that. Amygdala for emotional memory, but we now know that also, yeah, these are the main centers for memory, definitely. But it's much more complex, and memory, very wide areas of the brain are used, especially when you consolidate memories into long term and they're categorized. We're not really sure when that happens, but it's probably all over the brain.
And you mentioned that emotions are playing actually quite a big role for the memory. So
and smell as well.
Smell, yeah.
Like we already
there
said.
are certain sensations that are easier to remember.
Yeah, if there is smell involved. Actually, there are even research that shows that if you study on a particular very strong smell, actually that makes memory better. Not much better, but it helps, and there's correlation.
But as far as I know that, yes, emotions, when we have an emotion attached to our memory, we remember much better.
Much better, yeah.
But I guess emotions also kind of dissociate the details. If you are very much emotionally involved in that memory, probably you are less likely to remember the details, at least.
Exactly. That memory is going to be there for life, and it's going to be far from the truth probably, because there is emotion involved. But usually the first memory is both connected with some kind of smell and with some kind of emotion. Because both those things make memory much easier to form.
So kind of like emotions are highlighting of the memories. If there are quite good emotions involved, strong emotions involved.
It's strong. They can be negative and it will still form a strong memory.
And how do we forget things?
We don't know that as well. There are very complex mechanisms into deciding what is going to be remembered or not. Because when a short-term memory becomes long-term, there's actually structural changes in neuronal pathways. And that memory with time is going to fade. And this is a controlled process.
I believe, but also it will be a brain that remembers everything would be very dysfunctional.
Yeah, that's why there is that process of forgetting.
Yeah, we have to forget something so we can add the new information to our storage. So,
True.
We cannot remember everything.
What about fake memories?
Fake memories, like implementation of memories. Is it possible? There is a movie about that. It's called, I believe, what was Dark City? You have seen it? It's a very beautiful movie. There are people who lives in a certain utopia, and whenever they go to sleep, there are creatures that changes the memories of people who lives in this society. And today you sleep like an engineer. The next day you wake up homeless because you have the memory of the homeless guy. So they are changing all the time. So every night you sleep and wake up to be a new person.
Even more indicative that it's memories that form you as a person. Yeah.
Definitely.
True.
But when it comes to, I believe this topic was discovered by also many different movies and teams. Inception is one of them. I mean, it's about the dreams and so on, but it's also manipulation of the memories.
But memory can be manipulated, and there's very interesting.
You can reshape the memory?
You can. There's research with people who are witnessing videos of a car crash, and it depends on how you ask them of what they saw, and the answers are going to be different. For example, using different verbs, like one of the questions was, did you see glass shattered when the cars hit each other? Or did you see glass shatter when the cars smashed into each other? And when you use smash, most of the people said, yeah, there was glass on the tarmac. Suggestive words will manipulate your memory.
So even the way how you ask questions are important for you.
You put stress on specific words and on specific creating emotion even.
Well, that sounds like a very good topic for CIA agents or secret agents to figure it out.
It's interesting that you say that as well, because retrieval of memories can also be manipulated for good or bad.
Do you think that torture would be a successful way to get the best memories out of the informants? No, right?
No.
Why?
Maybe we can organize that. No, that would put you into stress, and that will make retrieval worse. That's for sure.
Exactly.
But repeating the conditions when the memory formed actually makes the retrieval better.
Oh,
yeah. And this is used. It's not used. There was research, but it's not used. Witness testimony is better if it's done on the crime scene.
Crime scene. Yeah. Okay.
For example.
Oh yeah.
Question. So you can train your memory, but can you possibly forget?
Yes, with a pan, as we already discussed. Sure.
So memory can be influenced by suggestion, repetition, imagination.
Some types of memory are rehearsed better. They can be made better. Like there are types of memory that you cannot make better in any way, like sensory memory. The ability to the first step of remembering.
So the confidence in remembering memory is not always equal to accuracy.
Yeah,
You can be very sure that you remember that way, but in real life,
it's true for everything in life. You can be very confident and talk bullshit. So yeah, it's the same with memory too.
And how trauma can affect memory?
What do you mean?
I mean, I know there is this neurodegenerative disorders which lowers the ability with time and slowly. But also there are those traumas.
You mean, yeah.
It's like an accident.
Brain injury.
Yeah, I have a personal experience. I had a car accident. One car hit me. And
Did it smash into you or did it hit you? Was there glass shattered?
Let me remember that. Well, I was crossing the street and it hit me like with 100 kilometers, I believe. So I flew 18 meters. But that's the thing. I do remember the moment afterwards. Maybe it passed like 45 minutes. So I laid down like 45 minutes unconscious. But I don't have the memory of the moment. I don't remember exactly how it happened. Was it like before this and that? So I definitely had a damage on my brain, or at least my head, because my head was like in the front shield. So all of my...
So there was glass shattered
in
your head.
Exactly. Even it was full of glasses. Yeah, but traumatic events also sometimes affects our memory. And
this is a very classical example. Like a head injury, a concussion, will give you retrograde amnesia for...
Isn't it so interesting though? You know, it goes and it comes back at some point, and you never know when it will come back. There are some cases that person forgets like really big amount of memory, and randomly after 5 years, he starts to remember everything again.
5 years is a bit, of course it's possible, but usually, especially when we speak about concussions, it usually happens in less than an hour. Later you start remembering. I actually used to work at the ski slopes in Bansko as a seasonal work. And at first it was interesting to me, but then it started being annoying. People with concussions, they usually enter the office and they said, "Oh, what happened?" And I said, "You were in a ski accident, you got hit, you bumped your head on the slope, but it's all fine. There's nothing serious in your condition and your memory is coming." And they stop me and say, "Hey, what happened?" And I say, "You were in a ski accident, you bumped your head." And then they say, "Oh, what happened?" And then my answer is getting shorter and shorter every time. And then I just started saying, "It's all fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. I'll tell you later." And at some point they just started remembering what happened.
Can you mistake a dream for a memory?
Good question.
Very good question.
Good question.
We don't know much about dreams, but sleep is very important for consolidating memories. And
exactly.
One of the theories is that dreams are actually exactly that.
Actually, there is a fact that a brain cannot create a new face out of nowhere. It uses in the dreams a
combination of faces of different people. That's called a nightmare.
No, but for example, when you walk in a very crowded street, you actually pass by hundreds of different faces. Even though selectively you do not show attention to them, but your brain saves all the...
and then uses it for
face. Yes,
face.
In the dreams, you think that you don't know that the person, but actually that person has to be someone you saw. Your brain can never create a new face. So in a way, to your question is that, yes, dreams and memories has very much connection, but when it comes to purposes, and dreams are a very blurred area for all the scientists still. One of the reasons why we dream, we guess like it helps a lot to emotional regulation actually.
It could be. From a neurologist perspective, it's just the hippocampus playing out your day
Yeah.
during the night to your neocortex.
Scanning, yeah.
But I guess that's one of the functions. I had a nightmare once.
Okay.
It was you with your face and the muzzle of your dog, and it was really quite. Now I remember it. It was a bad experience.
Is it something that you want to forget?
Yeah, but now you
have to push
you
it.
made it impossible.
Good. You will have more memories of me, I hope, if we continue.
That sounded like a threat. Memory is one of the things that we really don't understand. We don't understand a lot of the brain, but especially how your memories are categorized, the way they are categorized, how they are categorized, and in what mechanism, in what way is it decided how to categorize them. Because you asked about different types of memory, and we haven't discussed that as well. There is explicit and implicit memory, and implicit memory is also quite automatic, like how you do something and you get better at it.
Yeah. That's what I want to ask also.
Yeah, and
like I can forget facts, but for example, I will not forget usually how to ride a bike once.
Exactly.
When I learn how to ride it.
And again, these are very different brain areas. Like implicit memory, also called procedural memory, it involves parts of your brain that are concerned with motor functions, like driving a car or a bicycle and so on. And this is the best memory to rehearse, to make better.
I believe this is where it becomes very much of a disorder when you truly, I mean, we all can forget facts from time to time, but when it comes to forgetting those motor functions, like forgetting how to ride a bike, forgetting how to cook.
Yeah, this would be very indicative for a serious problem.
Right?
True.
Yeah, so it would be like dementia. Most of the dementia patients are slowly losing those primary, like cooking. Cooking is one of the basic things that we learn.
Their explicit memory is damaged usually. They have good implicit memory, good procedural memory to the end of the disease. What they actually lose is explicit memory, declarative memory. This is episodic memory, semantic memory, like things, facts, abstract facts, as in, for example, semantic memory, or facts about yourself, as in episodic memory. And this is what is lost in a degenerative disease.
You know, there is a philosophical perspective that a person actually truly dies only when he is lost in other people's memories. What I mean is that I will die one day, and you will live longer than me, and you will have the memory of me in your mind, right? But eventually, after one few generations later, there will be no one in this world that remembered who I am, and that will be my truly
real death.
You know, I will be truly gone. For example, in Greek mythology, being heroic was definitely
becoming
because
immortal.
of that. Yes, immortal. Yeah. For example, Achilles, you know, he did all those things because he always wanted to be remembered, because he thought that the Troy War would be the biggest war in the human history. And if he joined that war, he would be remembered all the time. So in a way, maybe he is actually living in our memories at the moment. It's not dead yet.
A very pathologic mindset, I would say. Very psychopathic. Yeah, people that wanted to be remembered by any price. Like,
another question: if you don't remember, does it exist?
Very philosophical. And if you don't see me, do I exist?
It's a very
not a question I can answer for sure. It also reminds me of Terry Pratchett's Gods. There, if a god really disappears after his last fall, or dies, or stops believing in them, pretty much the same, and pretty philosophical, and stuff that is really out of our scope, because we're quite the simpletons.
What about photographic memory?
Good one.
Photographic memory is a type of sensory memory, and it is mostly genetic. Some people are very good at it and some people aren't. There's also auditory memory. Some people just, although most people, are actually all people, have very strong connection between smell and memory, we are very much different in the other sensory areas. I mean, which sensory input is going to give us the strong memory? Some do it with hearing, some do it with vision and so on. Yeah.
We have this memory, in our brain, the way how we structure our character and so on, but also we can maybe talk about the memory of neurons or neural system. Do you think that neurons keep some kind of memory about what happened? And
yeah, memory is done through neurons. That's for sure. Yeah. We just don't know how. There is some data there. We know that the methylation or demethylation of DNA in memory genes makes us forget or remember. But we really cannot decode that system the way it is stored. We know that it's actually quite a lot of storage. We just don't know how it operates.
Because there are many personal coaches, Pilates or yoga instructors that they talk about, now we will clean the memory of your nervous system. So how is that possible? Is it possible?
Probably not.
To do it with the meditation, and if you meditate, your nervous system will be replacing its memories, bad memories, with the good ones, or?
So that yoga instructor is either a Nobel laureate or just a crook. Yeah. But there's also, right now it's quite popular, how do you call that, when you try to access your past lives?
Yeah, the memory, One.
Regression.
Regression.
Sounds aggressive.
Sounds aggressive. Sounds aggressive, I would say, yeah.
There is definitely scientific part of it, definitely. We talked like remembering certain event helps us to regulate emotions and
of our cousins, reptiles.
Yeah, there is also this memory. I believe it's mainly responsible for phobias we bring from our very, very first ancestors. So
yeah, it's a theory, but there is generational
fear.
Memory, for
fear.
Sure. Yeah,
fear is learned. Not learned, but it's memorized from your previous ancestors. Mm-hmm. A person who never met a snake is still afraid of it. Yeah. So there is a certain DNA passing.
Although we don't know how.
Yeah.
So maybe, but your past lives as in regression?
Come on, man. Wait a second. So you claim... Wait a second. No. Wait a second. So you claim that I cannot remember my past life?
Yep.
Well, I can. First of all...
You were a ballerina.
No, actually, I was very an aristocrat, a king,
I will interrupt you here.
Yes.
Everybody who remembers their past lives are some kind of aristocrat. How the fuck is no one just a beggar?
Okay. That was my previous one, but I also remember the previous one that before.
You were a snake.
I could be a bee. I was just, jumping from one flower to another. When you die...
That's called promiscuity.
Wait. The whole universe is an energy, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, right now, your body is just a certain type of energy. And when you die, it doesn't disappear. It just changes the form of energy, right? And this energy flows in the universe, and it goes into ass of a bee.
Ass of a bee?
Yes, and then it forms a kind of an experience, life experience, and that bee flies from one place to another, and then that bee turns out to be me after 5-6 lives. And now I have higher consciousness that I can access that energetic, how do you call that, channel, and I can call that energy back, and I can remember my previous lives.
Is that why you go from flower to flower in your love life in this life?
Maybe. I am
A busy bee.
I'm related to that. It's kind of a habit that
Oh,
I'm
that can be true.
carrying for a few
Can you see
lives.
how not narrow-minded I am? The reasonability that what you just said is true.
Yeah. There is a possibility maybe we have lived many lives, but if you don't remember them, like I said, do they exist? I mean, I understand the logic where those people are going, all the energy never dies and so on. Yes, but memory doesn't work with that type of energy and it doesn't record on a
Transgenerational note.
Yes, exactly.
But like I said, we don't know enough about memory, so it might be true. Let's be more less narrow-minded.
Okay.
But well, that bee thing was interesting. Was it a dream or a memory or
Could be anything.
a wish?
I don't know. It made me feel important, to be
free.
Yeah, it frees you. And you know what Einstein says, if the bees are disappearing, the humanity cannot survive.
So it is dying right now.
Kind of. But we are the center of everything. As human beings, we tend to think that we are very important, and maybe this also shapes our memories too.
Your self-esteem as well.
Yes, that you really, really want to be someone important. And maybe you want to yes, maybe you want to remember yourself like that, and therefore you shape your memories around that.
Interesting. True.
Any other questions?
Ways to make your memory better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not
Few
very interesting
tips.
ones.
Few tips.
They're absolutely the same as brain health guidelines.
Yeah, but I believe there is something that I use. For example, if I want to remember some, let's say, grocery list, I really usually use this mapping, that memory mapping. So you choose a map that you very well know. Maybe the street that you grow up or your house that you lived all your life.
And you remember the chips being at your place?
Yes, exactly. Like
the apples.
Exactly. I used to do that on my street. So if you want to remember, you have to buy bananas. You put the bananas in that map on the table, and you walk on that or a street. Mainly, I use the street. When you walk on that street, you just pick up the lists that you want to remember.
It's a kind of mnemonic. Not exactly, but kind of. And these things usually work for a specific task only. For general memory enhancement, there's nothing better than the general brain guidelines.
Also, those poker players or usually people who play cards, gambling, they really actually train their memories because they have to remember all the cards that has passed.
It's a specific task.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It can be beneficial to use your memory to be
better.
Rich. to be or not to be.
Oh no, another nightmare.
That's good. That's good.
Just put his dog's muzzle on. It's going to be even better. I forgot if there was anything else to say about memory.
There's a good question. Why childhood feels longer than adulthood?
Oh, nobody knows.
Maybe because the neuropaths are more connecting in the childhood, and it's
the same question as why pleasant experience feels shorter than the boring ones. But nobody knows. It's the perception of time. We don't know where that happens at all.
Yeah, time is really interesting concept in memories. You might remember the time concept as very longer or shorter, but in reality, how long it was, you don't know.
What was it that we were going to use for the end of that episode?
I truly don't remember. Should we just end it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
End.
This video has been brought to you by Nuance Psychology.